This wall is a speaker. The wall is a speaker. Take a close look. I'm not saying this wall has speakers in it. There's no in-wall speakers going on here. Now, of course, I'm mid-project. I haven't quite finished drywalling this wall yet. But I wanted you to see and hear how this wall is a speaker. Once this is plastered and sanded and painted, it's going to look like a wall because guess what? It's a wall. And it's a speaker. I have in-wall speakers elsewhere in the house and they sound fantastic. I love them. And the reason I got in-wall speakers in the other room when I got them was because my wife was resistant to the idea of having high quality cabinet speakers, traditional speakers, because they take up space and some people consider them an eyesore. Not me, not you, but some people don't like the look of speakers, traditional cabinet speakers, because they take up space and you want to hear them and not see them. So this is why I convinced my wife to allow me to put in-wall speakers in our main living TV watching room. And they sound great and I love them. I love in-wall speakers because they're high on the wife approval list and they can still sound terrific. I had to re-drywall this wall. And guess who was not allowed to put in-wall speakers? Behind this wall is a bathroom, and we renovated that bathroom 7-8 years ago. And I bought and currently own in-wall speakers that was meant for the bathroom. And guess who was not allowed to put in-wall speakers in there? Because as high as they are on the wife approval list, in exchange for or in place of traditional cabinet speakers, you can still see them. You could still see in-wall speakers. So this wall is the speaker, is the point. And I want to show you how convinced I've become halfway through this project, how this is a absolutely valid option in place of in-wall speakers. If in-wall speakers are a good replacement for traditional cabinet speakers, I'm here to tell you, turning your wall into a speaker, there's a magic trick involved here, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. Turning your wall itself into the speaker is a remarkable replacement for in-wall speakers. In-wall speakers will never be as good as traditional cabinet speakers unless you spend $1 billion, because there are some tremendously good in-wall speakers out there. And turning your drywall into an in-wall speaker, also, I have to admit, it will never be as good as high quality in-wall speakers. Turning your wall into speakers will never be as good as high quality in-wall speakers, but I've been fooled. This sounds amazing. Before I tell you the magic trick, let me demonstrate how good this wall sounds. What I have going on here. How I'm operating this wall wirelessly. This wall will forever be my Amazon Eco Show 15 speaker. So when I talk to my Eco Show 15, the sound it makes no longer comes out of the Eco Show 15, it comes out of the wall via Bluetooth. So I've connected this via Bluetooth to a Bluetooth receiver, which is plugged into an amplifier, which is driving 8 audio exciters that are mounted behind the drywall, inside the wall, and those audio exciters, which I got from Parts Express, I'll put links in the description down low so you can take a close look at what these audio exciters are all about and perhaps buy some for yourself. Play with them. They're remarkably inexpensive. Buy a pair. Play with them to discover what they're capable of. Or buy 4 pairs and put them inside your drywall here. But that's all this is wirelessly my EcoShow 15 sends its audio signal to my Bluetooth receiver, which sends the signal to a power amplifier, which powers 4 audio exciters per channel. Small print. I have a subwoofer attached to this for good reason. Without a subwoofer, this lacks bass, but with a subwoofer, let me show you. I would normally turn it up via voice. I would give it the command, but I don't want to say that word. This is royalty-free music. Take a listen to this. That is sick. The sound quality coming from this wall is sick. And let me repeat, the sound is coming from the wall. The drywall itself is vibrating, and you can feel it with your hand. You put your hand on there, you can feel the drywall vibrating. It doesn't vibrate enough that you can see the drywall vibrating, but it does vibrate like a speaker cone would vibrate to the music. Because that's essentially what this wall has become. This wall has become a speaker cone. The wall is vibrating because there are magnets, 8 of them, behind the wall with traditional voice coils that respond to the music signal inside the magnetic gap of the voice coil. And it would shake a speaker cone, but in this case, it's shaking the wall. I put 8 in here because I wasn't sure if 2, 1 per channel, would be enough. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where audio exciters were used on other flat, hard surfaces to make music, and 2 seems to be enough in most traditional projects. But this is much heavier material than you've seen. I'll put a link in the description down low to show you, to direct you to some of the YouTube videos that had inspired this idea. And what you'll notice is, none of them have mounted audio exciters to drywall, which is why I had the question that remained unanswered. Is 2 audio exciters enough, 1 per channel? I've used 8, and I can't directly answer that. Is 2 enough? Because I've never done drywall with 2, but I have done drywall with 4 audio exciters. The opposite side of this wall is my bathroom, and I do have 4 audio exciters, 2 per channel, because I wanted to see, is 2 per channel enough? And I'll say, yeah, 2 per channel is enough. But is 8 better? Yeah. 4 per channel is absolutely better. With 4 per channel, they're only $25. The better audio exciters from Parts Express, the expensive ones, are only $25 a piece. So I got 8, which at $200, $25 a piece times 8, that's about $200. Well, that's what you're going to spend on a reasonable quality pair of in-wall speakers. So this is not expensive in comparison to installing in-wall speakers, which you would always see. It would always be lower on the wife approval score. The truth is, I tried hiding this from my wife. Tried not telling her. because she knew I had to drywall the wall. She knew I had to cut it open anyway, so there was really no question as to what I was up to until she saw mysterious wires dangling in the wall, and she had questions. What are those wires for? And I answered those questions, which led to questions. Point is, if you can sneak this by your wife, if you happen to be doing drywall repair, there's no reason you would ever know that this wall is a speaker. I have to show you this one more time. This wall is a speaker. Once I mud it and tape it and paint it, you'll never see anything. And with the subwoofer, I'm gonna say it's as good. It is as good as in-wall speakers. It's not to say they are as good. I'm sure, I don't doubt for a minute, if you put a microphone up and tested their frequency response, that this isn't as good. And it is not. But for what it's for me, for my use, for what I intend to use this for, it is everything I ever wanted it to be. What this is for me, this is not for my primary music listening. This is in my dining room. This is in my kitchen area. This is not for my primary music listening. And dare I say, for most people who aren't audiophiles, this is plenty good. This is far better than most people own as their main primary speakers. But the primary purpose for this is for entertaining. I have a couple of friends that come over every 3 months to play poker. We play poker in this room at a dinner table, and I'm going to do a video, a response video or a reaction video once I paint the wall. And I'm going to see, let's see, and I'm going to capture it on video, and I'm going to show you, the YouTube world, their response to a finished wall where you can't see a speaker, and show them the sound. Because of course you, through video, you can't really appreciate how this sounds other than take my word for it. And I want you to take the word for it from my friends who are here playing poker. And largely I just want to prove to the world that I do have a friend or two. I have to pay them by losing poker all the time, but I do have friends, and I'm going to get their response on video when they listen to this wall, so that you can not only take my word for it, but take their word for it. It sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. One small piece of small print is there is a lot of bleed through the wall. As you know, I put audio exciters on the other side of this drywall for the bathroom. So when in the bathroom, I could talk to my Amazon smart speaker in there and say, play music while I'm in the shower, for instance. And I put them on this side of the wall so I could play music while I'm in here. Save your money. Don't put them on both sides of a common wall, because when I'm playing music on this wall, like I did just a minute ago, it's 98% as loud in the opposite room, which should probably score low on the wife approval score. There is a tremendous amount of bleed through the wall. I figured, of course, that this would vibrate the drywall. What I've learned is it doesn't just vibrate the drywall, it vibrates the wall. The good news is there is no vibrating noise. You don't hear any buzzing, which I was concerned about because I had a lot of speaker wire inside this wall, and I was cautious and careful to make sure that none of the speaker wire that was dangling was actually touching or laying against the drywall itself. I had it moved off and I stapled it to the studs, so my speaker wire wasn't touching the drywall, in fear that as the drywall vibrated there would be a buzzing noise. So when I say that the wall vibrates, it only vibrates to the music. So you don't hear vibrations, you just hear great music. But the point is, I put 8 audio exciters on this side of the wall and 4 audio exciters on the other side of the wall. Save your money. Do not put 4 on the other side of the wall, because you just don't need them. because all of the sound that you're hearing on this side of the wall, 98% of it you can hear on the other side of the wall. Anyway, so my bathroom speakers are effectively just these speakers. So I have wasted money, and I know when I do future projects, I'm not going to put them on two sides of a common wall, which then suggests be cautious and careful if you live in an apartment that you don't necessarily do that with a common wall that you share with a neighbor, which would be similar to in-wall speakers. You would use that same precaution or care and attention to not do that with in-wall speakers either, unless, of course, you were using sealed back in-wall speakers, which is what I would certainly do if you were putting a pair of in-wall speakers in a common wall where you had a neighbor on the other side of the wall. I wouldn't hesitate. My in-wall speakers that I have just over here in this other room, I have on my exterior wall, the exterior of the house. And you can surely hear some sound from those in-wall speakers from outside the house. But the truth of the matter is my neighbor, who doesn't have in-wall speakers, he just has large cabinet speakers. Well, when he plays his music loud, I can hear it too. So traditional speakers bleed noise outside the house. In-wall speakers bleed noise through a wall. And there's no surprise, these audio exciters inside a wall, when driven loud, there's bleed through the wall. It's not really shocking. Let me flip that upside down and we'll make that a positive point that you can cut your money in half and get music, great quality, high quality sounding music in two rooms by only putting audio exciters on one side of the room. But know that there's great bleed through the wall, which, depending on how you look at it, is a good thing. I'm going to do yet another video. This is the third, maybe the fourth video in this series. I did a previous video where this wall was open and I was focused on the wiring and the series parallel relationship between those 8 audio exciters. Check out that video so you can get some wiring tips. And there's 2 other previous videos to that. And I'm going to follow this video up with another video when the wall is finally finished and painted and looks like a wall. I hope I can mud this in the same skill. I'm pretty proud of myself at how I hung the drywall. I've never really hung drywall alone on my own before. I've always had the help of somebody else who knew what they were doing. It's the first time I did it myself, and I'm pretty proud at how it turned out. I hope my mud is just as good. I hear that's the hard part. But I'm going to do another video then. When the wall is painted, the wall is finished, we're going to play some more royalty-free music, and I plan to have a couple of friends here and not tell them what they're walking into. I want to surprise them and get their initial honest reaction on camera for you, so you're not getting my biased opinion. I'm biased. I think this sounds remarkable. I think this sounds amazing, but also I didn't know what to expect, so I'm just pleased. And maybe it's my shock. I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked with how well it's turned out. And that shock may be blinding me to the reality how this actually sounds. So this is why I genuinely want to capture some other people's response to hearing this wall. So I'm going to finish the wall, paint it, have a night of poker here, and unexpectedly play some music on camera, capturing their response. If you want to see that, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you get a notification when that video comes. Here's the truth. I am contemplating. I'm an audio nerd. I've been an audio nerd for 30, 40, 35 years anyway. I used to work in the audio industry, and this is my hobby, and I understand it. And I have contemplated doing more videos much like this on subjects much like this about audio and electronics and speakers and audio projects. I've contemplated doing more videos like this. If that's what you want to see, leave a comment down below. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and comments really help the channel. And more importantly, really help me understand, is there a market for this? Do people want to see this kind of project? So leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to see, and that'll help convince me to do more stuff. I think my wife would rather I don't do more stuff. So help us by leaving a comment what you want to see. Should we do more of this stuff? Should we not do more of this stuff? Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and leave a comment or two. We'll see you next time.